Just picked this up today. This is a Murray riding lawnmower. Used to have one just like this 30 years ago or more. This is my new project. I'm going to be turning this into either like a racing mower or maybe a mud mower. Just something, a little toy to have. I'm going to pulley swap it. Of course, get rid of the deck and just kind of see where it goes from there. This is how it sits as I bought it. Just unloaded it off the pickup truck about an hour ago, and I'm already working on it, trying to figure out why it won't start. So far I've figured out the wiring's a nightmare. It will spin over, the motor will spin over. I've jumped the starter solenoid and got that far, and I'm going to tear into it some more. Bye for now. Hello YouTube, I'm back on the old Murray. In a previous video that I did not make, I got it running, got it driving. My problem is with my prosthetic leg, clutch pedal, they don't get along too well. I tried, but let's just say putting it in like a 6th gear and then trying to ease out the clutch with the prosthetic leg ended up in me doing a wheelie. As you can see, I took the deck off. What we're doing today is we're going to try to stand this thing up on its tail end so we can work on the underside without being on our back, laying on the ground. So I got it jacked up, put it on these ramps just to get a little bit of a, head start. Can't really grab it from the hood. I got to try to bend down and grab it from the axle beam. So we'll see if I can't get this thing stood up, and I'll be back. Alrighty, got it stood up without totally wrecking my back. Got it resting on this plastic ramp. I'm probably going to get a ratchet strap or something, strap it from the ceiling, one of the joists on the ceiling, just to stabilize it. Before I did this thing needed an oil change anyway, so I went ahead and drained the oil, removed the fuel tank, and also removed the battery so it wouldn't have any fluids or anything leaking out. I've seen other people do this on YouTube. I'm not sure if they do all that, but I just wanted to be on the safe side. But now we got a clear shot of the underneath. It's pretty dirty under here. So at some point in the build, I'm going to pressure wash it. Obviously I got an oil leak. I'm thinking this crank seal is probably leaking. At some point I'm going to want to pull the motor and take the bottom cover off to get to the governor, to remove the weights on the governor. It's very important on these single cylinder flathead Briggs & Stratton. They do not have an oil pump. They are splash lubricated, and there's a little paddle wheel on the governor that splashes the oil up. You don't want to just remove the governor. You want to remove just the weights of the governor. And you want to do that because if you're going to exceed 3,600 RPMs, you don't want those weights coming apart and destroying the inside of the engine. So many ways to wreck one of these engines when trying to do a governor delete. It's important that you do a little research and do it correctly. So anyway, we got it up in the air. Moving forward from here. Okay, it's a little darker now because I had to shut the door to the shop. But that's what I did. I just ran a strap over the joist in here. Not putting a lot of weight on it. This thing, I mean, I can pick up the whole front end of this mower, and it's not actually picking it up, it's just stabilizing it. But anyway, I'm sure I could lift the whole mower off of that and have no issues. I mean, I can hang from it. Anyway, I'm getting off course here. It's not perfect, but at least now I know it's not going to fall on me. So what I'm getting ready to do, let me get down here if I can show you. And for those of you who don't know how a clutch works on a lawnmower, it's not really a clutch. Anyway, this is your transmission belt or your engine belt. On a riding mower, you got two belts. You got one that powers the transmission, and I can show you here on the engine pulley. See how there's two pulleys? There's one way up there by the bottom of the deck or frame, and you got this bigger pulley down here. That's what used to drive the deck. I removed all of that. So now I'm just left with this one belt right here. It goes all the way back to the transaxle, and there's a pulley on top of the transaxle. I don't know, you can see it a little bit there. It's kind of dark, but right now it's got a, where'd it go? Here it is. It's got a tensioner pulley. that has got the, the belt tight to where it will drive that pulley. If you push in on the clutch, which is right over here, watch what happens to that tensioner pulley. See how it removes the slack from the belt? Now the belt can slip. So a lot like how a clutch works. It removes the power from the transaxle so you can shift the gears. And then when you release the pedal, it tightens the belt back up, and you can do it nice and slow, so there's some slippage. But that's how a clutch on a riding lawnmower works, at least an old gear drive like this. What I'm getting ready to do is right here. This used to be what engaged the blades on the deck. It's kind of getting out of focus there. Let me get up off my knee here, which is kind of hard to do with a bionic leg. Come over here so I can show you. I got to watch my step. I got stuff in the way. Golly. Can't get through. There we go. Anyway, this lever right here on the column, that's what I was showing you underneath just a second ago. I am going to try and figure a way to make that my clutch lever, since I don't have use of my left foot. And then I'll just completely eliminate that pedal right there so my prosthetic foot has a good place to rest. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll check back with you and show you the progress as I go. I just thought I'd get a different view of the suspended tractor. Alright, we're going to get back to it. What have I done so far? I removed the whole clutch system. So, more clutch pedal. It is sitting right there. Don't need that no more. Went and bought me some threaded rod. Got a couple of the rod ends, or whatever you want to call them. I'm going to cut that to length. And get down here. Damn prosthetic leg. Okay. Clutch arm. And here's that linkage from what used to be the engagement for the deck. Thinking I can just connect the two. Let's see, this would be down. Not sure if this is going to work or not. It might interfere with the belt now that I'm looking at it. I may have to do some cutting and welding, but kind of moves the same direction. We shall see. Alright, here's what I've come up with so far. In order to get some more travel, there was a stop right here. That little piece of metal was bent up. And as you can see, I cut the arm off of this. It used to stop right there. Or something like that. Yeah. It used to come around and stop that way. But by removing that stop, I get more travel out of it. And that's important because, come over here. Once again, it takes me a second to get down on my knee. Alright, here we go. I can get that in a better alignment with that right there. And what I got going here is a piece of threaded rod. I cut to 10 inches. I might trim it more. But the problem I run into is the distance from the bottom of the tractor to here. Up here is much greater. So even if I put these little rod ends, I put one going one way and the other going the other way, try to make up some of that difference, it's still just too much of an angle. So what I'm going to do now is put a little S-bend in this threaded rod. I'm going to try that and we'll see how it works. And there's what the finished product looks like. Not the best job. Not the best I can do, but it's what I'm going to do for now. Probably going to redo this later, but I just want to give it a try. I'll put this cross member back on, and then I'm going to let the mower back down, put the battery back in, put the fuel tank back on, put some oil in it, and give it a go. Alright, got it back on the ground and got it running again. Happy to report that for now, until one of my cotter pins or something breaks, my clutch contraption works. That is the same thing as clutch pedal down, clutch disengaged. And that's clutch engaged, or go. I've already taken it for a quick drive. It works. I'm going to take my leg off and I'll see if I can get this on camera. All right, back at it. Got the clutch working. We're gonna try to take it for a drive. I don't know how good this is gonna be. I don't know if I got enough hands. I need one hand for the clutch, one hand to put it in gear. Damn. Let's see what we can do here. All right, we're in neutral. I gotta make sure because I bypassed all the safety switches on this mower. Throw off my little switch panel here. That's my master power. Push button start. Oh yeah, I need to start doing that. This one, basically, it doesn't turn on the stator, but it allows the power from the stator to reach the battery because I don't want that on all the time. And then this is my kill switch. So I got to put that down. Give it a little bit of throttle. And I can either kill the power because the motor, the ignition coil went straight off the stator. All right, how are we going to do this? Put the phone down for a second. So we can see the phone. Okay, we're in 6th gear. This is stock pulley. This is my clutch, how it works right here. And away we go.
Music licensing.
That is right there is top speed. Man, we're moving. Look at this. That's why we're going to do a pulley swap. Get this thing going faster. That is about it. Top gear. Throttle all the way up. That's all she's got. And if I hit my kill switch, it's on good stop. Alrighty. That's it for now.
Cyclist.io.
Well, that didn't last long. Broke the drive belt. Oh, no, we didn't break it. It just slipped.
Music licensing.
Or did we? No, it just slipped. Alright, well. Not sure why it did that, but let's see if we can fix it.